Great.
Oh yeah.
Great point, guys.
I mean,
Mike, go ahead.
Go ahead, bro.
Benny, I see my first guest on the line. Okay, guys, right now we're going to play a great song from King Diamond that features my first guest, the great Matt Thompson. This is The Floating Head.
I cannot stand
And now, back to Around the Kit with Joe Gansas.
Guys, goosebumps. I've been a huge fan of King Diamond, Merciful Fate for like 30 years, and the band has always had great stuff. In the last 16 years, the guy behind the throne kicking ass. You just heard him on that great song. Oh, my God, the floating head. It is my pleasure to welcome to Around the Kit with Joe Gansas, the great Matt Thompson. Matt, Joe Gansas, Around the Kit. What's up, brother?
Hey, Joe. How you doing?
Hey, man, how you doing tonight? Thank you for coming on the show. It's a real pleasure. Thank you, brother.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Matt, usually I do all the interviews, but I have a co-host tonight. He's part of the show, so he's on the line now. Matt Thompson, meet Benny Cerbone. Benny, take it away.
Hey, Matt, how are you today?
I'm good, thanks. How are you, Betty?
Good, good. What's going on, man? Are you off tour or are you home with your family?
I'm home with my family. Everybody's home, so I'm in my minivan and the driveway.
That's awesome, man. How does it feel to be off tour? I mean, how long has been how long is your break right now? When was the last time you actually did a live show with King Diamond?
The last show we did was I think maybe December 1st. Yeah, I think it was December 1st in St. Paul, Minnesota. And then the next one will be in the beginning of June.
Wow, that's awesome. I guess you appreciate your breaks, being home with your family, because it's got to be a little bit of a tough life being away, right?
Yeah, I mean, it has its challenges. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, listen, I got a few things I just want to bring up to you. Now, while you're home, do you have students you teach? I heard you teach. Is that right?
I do. Yes, I do. That's what I do now.
Wow, that's awesome. I mean, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, like, I guess when you're home now, do you have a lot of students you teach? Maybe 10, 15, 20 kids? How does it work?
Well, I'm teaching private lessons at a private school, so I think I have right now about around 25 students, I think, a week, and then I have a few more at my apartment, and I do like 2 or 3 Skype lessons a week.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you're a real busy guy. That's great. But is there?
Are there
any
half-hour lessons, so I'm not that busy.
Wow, that's great. Well, I have to bring something else to your attention. I heard one of your students jammed out with Kiss. Is that correct?
That's right, yeah. Yeah, I have a student named Robot Gladden. He's amazing. He's an amazing drummer. And, he was amazing when he got to me. I kind of show him, more of the classical training kind of stuff. But as far as how to play the drums, he already knew that when I first met him. And he's been a fan of his whole life since he's like, there's videos of him playing along with Kiss, dressed up as Peter Criss when he's like 3-4 years old.
Right, and I also seen him singing at the same time with them. I couldn't believe it. He was awesome.
Well, yeah, that's right. He also plays piano, man. He's a real talented kid. He works hard at it.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, are there any other students you have that are that talented as well?
Man, I can't say that I have any students that have gotten to his level. He was on America's Got Talent, and Howard Stern told him he hits like John Bonham, and they made it to the final round.
Well, that was another thing I was going to bring up. I mean, I know you mentioned that he played on America's Got Talent. Now, were you there for that, or did you actually, I guess, watch him on TV for that?
I wasn't there for that, and I caught it on YouTube. Hello?
Still there, Matt?
Oh, yeah, okay, cool, man. I thought I lost you.
Oh, yeah, I thought I lost you, too. Anyway, listen, I just want to go back in time a little bit. As far as when you were about 9 years old, I heard your father took you to see a Chick Corea concert. Was that right?
Chick Corea, well, no, I think that's a little fuddled, man. When I was 9, my mom took me to see Chick Corea Trio with Roy Haynes on drums. But when I was 12, my dad took me to see Rush and got me backstage to Rush, and I got to watch.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I was 12, and I was already into them big time, man, since I was 9 when I got Permanent Waves. And then when I saw them, I had been into them for a few years, and it was the Signals tour, and yeah, my dad got me backstage, and that is when I decided I was going to be a drummer.
You know what? That was one of my early shows as well. I seen Rush at the Brendan Byrne Arena in New Jersey. I was at the Signals tour as well. And let me
is that right?
Something.
Well, I saw it down the street at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. That's where I was.
Wow, that's awesome. I mean, you're not living in Jersey, right? Were you living in Jersey one time?
Yeah, I grew up in South Jersey, and I moved when I was 21.
Wow, 21. Well, I happen to be in South Jersey myself, in Sayreville. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, I know where Sayreville is, yeah. I grew up in Marlton, just outside Cherry Hill, you know where Marlton is?
Okay, yeah, that's a little bit further down.
Olga's Diner.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, let me ask you a question. How was it growing up with having parents that played instruments? Because I guess your mother played violin, your father was into jazz, you're playing the trumpet and piano. How was it watching them? Was it inspirational and inspiring?
Yeah, I guess so, man. Yeah, looking back on it, when you're a kid, you just kind of roll with the changes and you kind of just do what's there. But my mom playing the violin, I kind of rebelled at an early age. I was required kind of by my family to play an instrument, so I chose drums, which was
that's awesome.
The opposite of violin, But yeah, my dad had killed. Sorry?
No, I was going to say that's okay because not every family accepts, their children playing instruments. So that's got to be a great feeling.
Well, it's fucking child abuse, man.
Oh,
it is.
God,
I mean, science says that your brain will advance in better ways and it'll advance quicker, if your child plays a musical instrument. So what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, I got you, man. Well, I got to say, I wish my parents pushed me to play an instrument. Growing up in an Italian family, to them everything was noise. What is this? Because my early influences were, Rush as well, but Black Sabbath and all these bands, they were like, what the hell are you listening to? What are you playing? I'm like,
but man, you know what? I got to tell you, I grew up in a row house, and one of my best friends growing up, he lived in a row house, and to be a drummer in a row house meant that you had to have very, very accepting neighbors and family members, and my best friend growing up was Italian, and he was in a very Italian family, and he played the drums and rattled the walls for 20 years, and they were cool with it. And my next door neighbors were Italian, and there was no bricks or anything. They were on the wall on the other side of my wall, and I played the double bass drums for 15 years in there.
Oh my God! I can picture it. Oh, what do you do? You make all of this noise. Oh, I can picture it because I remember playing up in my attic with the windows wide open. The neighbors, they used to go nuts. Benny, please stop. No, this is awesome, bro. Come on. We're playing Raven and Black Sabbath and, early Metallica. I'm like, you know what? You didn't care. So I can see where you're coming from, But, hey, listen, that's the way it was,
Well, it's a combination of me not caring and also my neighbors being very cool about it, man. I owe them a lot because of that. But they were happy when I moved.
Now, where are you living now? Are you still in Jersey or I think you're in Texas, right?
Yeah, I live in Texas. That's right.
Wow, that's nice. How's the weather down there?
It's so beautiful right now, Most of the year, it's really, really beautiful here. And, now. It's been in, the low 70s all week. But for 3 months out of the year, it's the horrors of the damned, during the summer. So there is that.
Yeah. Well, I know there's some other great musicians living out in Texas. I can name one of them, Mr. Vinnie Paul. He happens to be one of my influences. I don't know if you have an appreciation for Pantera music, but
yeah.
How do you feel about that?
No, absolutely one of my influences as well, and it had a huge impact on me because when I first moved here, the Black Album came out, so I was like a child wandering in the desert with no direction, and then and then Vulgar Display of Power came out, and I was finally a star has appeared in the North Sky, that I had direction again. And yeah, it was Vinnie Paul, man, and yeah, it's really, really cool guy too. I got to tour with him last summer.
Man, that's awesome.
And it was great to get to know him. I mean, yeah, I was like starstruck. He's got a personality that makes you relax. So,
absolutely. Yeah. Well, let me tell you. I mean, for me, watching the Headbangers Ball, I'm sure you remember that. 1990, I'm sitting in my apartment. I just got married, and here comes Cowboys from Hell. I'm like, what is this? But anyway, enough for Vinnie Paul. We know we love him. He's awesome, and it's got to be cool, man, knowing these people.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Yep, it was a really cool tour. Yeah, man, he was a cool dude. He threw a party at his house in Vegas for everybody, and then he did the same thing, had 4 or 5 barbecues, man, and there was 10 bands, at least 10 bands on that tour.
Oh God, I could picture all the ribs and the hot dogs and the burgers. Anyway, that's great. Real quick, I'm going to move on because now you went to Berkeley College, is that right?
No, that's totally incorrect.
Oh, it is incorrect. They said, I don't know, it was something you went there or you were accepted to Berkeley?
No, again, yeah, completely incorrect. I was kind of a fuck up in high school. I had good music grades, but the rest of my grades were terrible. So I was not accepted to Berkeley, even though I won a scholarship to Berkeley, and maybe that's what you're talking about. When I was in high school, I played a jazz festival there in high school. We did it every year. I think it was maybe an East Coast thing, but I think there were jazz bands from all over the country. But anyway, I won a Best Soloist scholarship, and I was going to go there. I didn't get accepted right out of high school, but I was kind of getting my grades together in community colleges. And during the process, I got asked to play with a band in Texas. And I came down here just to play with that band. And while I was down here, I heard drummers that changed my life, man. People you might not have heard of, like Dan Wojciechowski and Greg Beck and Keith Carlock and, these guys. And I was like, what the hell is going on there?
So these are all jazz drummers, correct?
No, not necessarily just jazz at all. Actually, all 3 of those are kind of backbeat drummers, but no, they're also really great jazz drummers. But anyway, seeing them led me to this college down here that's called University of North Texas, and I checked out the program, and I checked out the prices, and I decided to go here.
Oh, that's awesome. So now you went to North Texas College. Now, what styles of music were you learning? I see you were learning Indian type music, African, Afro-Cuban style music. Is that right?
Yeah, those were our kind of fringe benefits, man. I was a jazz major. That's what I majored in.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, in 4 years there was just a whole lot of stuff to take advantage of, and I tried to take advantage of as much as I could. Yeah, including Indian and Afro-Cuban. I was in Brazilian ensemble. And they really shove a lot of, classical European music history down your gullet as well, which I loved.
That's awesome. Very cool,
exactly. Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? I got to mention one Afro-Cuban drummer. I don't know if you ever heard of Bobby Sanabria. You ever hear of him?
Can you say it again?
Bobby Sanabria. I guess he's an Afro-Cuban type drummer. The only reason why I mention it because he sticks out in my head. I've seen a lot of his videos on YouTube, and he plays that Afro-Cuban style. And let me tell you, if you get a chance, check him out, Bobby Sanabria. He's an awesome drummer as well.
Thanks for the lead, man.
Yeah, why not? We got to share drummers, man. There's a ton of them out there, but what are you gonna do? But it's awesome. Anyway, I heard you won some drum Grammys. Is that right?
One more time. I'm sorry, it's hard to hear.
Drum Grammy. You won some Grammy awards, I guess, for drumming. Is that right?
No. Well, I was nominated for a couple. I mean, King Diamond was nominated for Best Metal Performance in 2007, and also that same year, Brave Combo, which is a polka band that I've recorded and played with. They were nominated for Best Polka Album. that same year.
Really?
Neither of them won, you know. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
A lot.
All right, let's get to King Diamond. How did you get that gig?
I got the King Diamond gig because I'd been playing with, you know, when I first moved to Texas, the band I played with was kind of a pop band, but I always played metal, and I played with a couple kind of death metal bands. And because of that, I started playing with a band called Surgeon, and Michael Harris, guitar player here, and he did his stuff at a studio called Nomad, and King Diamond did his stuff at the same studio.
Right.
So what ended up happening is a mutual friend, the owner of the studio named Gary, he told me that King had heard my drumming, and that he said it was good, you know. So I told him that if King ever needs a drummer, then he's got to call me, you know. Shot in the dark.
Absolutely.
Right, you know? You got to say it, though. Yeah, you tell him to call me. So anyway,
absolutely.
I graduated from college, and 2 weeks later, King called me. He needed a drummer.
That's friggin' awesome. And let me tell you something. You are awesome. When I watch your videos, I got to say, you remind me of like this blue-collar guy. He gets up in the morning, has his coffee, kisses his wife and kids goodbye. All right, honey, I'll see you later. I'm going to work. And you kick ass on stage, bro. How's that analogy?
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it, man. I'm proud to be blue-collar. And that's what I was, you know, until, you know, I quit my bartending job in '96.
Wow. And then you end up with King Diamond. And you got a couple other bands going on, right? I think you have Legacy of Disorder, Shaolin Death Squad, Agora. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Legacy Disorder is a band I played with for like 5 years. They're from New Zealand. I had to quit Legacy Disorder in 2012 when King made his comeback.
Right.
Because it would just have been too much touring at the time, you know. My daughter was born 2013, and I didn't want to be on the road for 10 months a year. My main band here is Shaolin Death Squad, and we're going to play our first show. King's been touring so much that I haven't been able to play with them in like 2 years. So I'm going to do my first show with them actually in a couple weeks at a festival here in Denton, Texas called the 35 Denton Festival, which is like, I think like 100 bands or something, but it's not a metal festival at all. So we're literally playing at a place called Abbey Underground. They shove all the metal underground here, you know, but that's fine.
Oh, that's cool.
And then Agora is a project I played with San Diego Dobles, who's a guitar player in South Florida. And the last rhythm section to play with Agora on the last 2 albums was related to the whole Death family tree. You know, Sean Reinert was the drummer for the first 2 Agora albums. So actually for me to play on an Agora album was a pretty big, amazing thing for me, man. And I tracked it about 6 years ago, and I anticipate its release any day.
Wow, that's awesome. Let me ask you a question. Out of all the bands you're playing with, which one do you find more difficulty playing, like as a band together? Like, you know, like each band has its own style of music. Which one do you find more challenging out of all those bands?
Well, I don't know, man. I think Shaolin is a little more challenging composition-wise.
I got to say, I listened to some of it. I was like, wow, man, this is some wild stuff, man. It's great, though, you know?
Well, thank you. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Mm-hmm.
Great. So now, Agora, what is that? Is that a thrash metal band you have?
No, Agora is like a melodic tech metal band. It's very technical. There's very little 4/4. It's like San Diego. I think he favors 7/4. I think 7 is his 4. And the songs we did, one was like 13 minutes, man, and one was like 11 minutes, and I think there was 2 that were like 9 minutes, and I think we made enough music to fill more than a double album.
Cool, man.
So I don't know what's going to happen with all that, you know. It's pretty complicated, very progressive.
Yeah, that's got to be a lot of work. Now, do you write a lot of your charts down? Do you write a lot of your music down so you can remember it?
Do I write it out? Well, yeah, for a project like that, man, I'll usually chart out something, you know.
That's awesome, man.
No,
I got to give you credit, man. That's a lot to remember, that's for sure.
Yeah, but, you know, if you rehearse something for 2 hours a day for a few weeks, you know.
That's great.
You know what I mean? Like any job you do for 8 hours a day, it gets pretty easy.
Absolutely. You get used to it, and you know what? You become a creature of habit. You just keep playing, and the more you play, the better you get. That's great.
Well, for me, it's rehearsal, you know, just doing it over and over again and doing it slow, you know. Think about it like martial arts, you know. If you're going to execute martial arts perfectly, you have to do it slow and you have to do shitload of repetition. And it's the same thing with drumming. You know? So if you do that, it's in your subconscious and it's going to come out. You know.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Nervous you are, whatever.
Cool. Hey, Matt, I just want to go to another thing. I'm going to name a couple of drummers from not the past, but, you know, some metal drummers. I just want a little information about each of them, okay? I'm just going to name a couple. Dave Lombardo, what's your take on him?
My take on Dave Lombardo is that fucker just totally changed my life in '86, man. You know, when I first heard Rain in Blood, I was like, no, it's sped up. Come on, stop. Because I had just kind of I was keeping up sort of with Master of Puppets, you know, Damage Inc. and Battery. You know, and that was the challenging stuff for me at the beginning of '86, or no, I guess towards the end of '86.
Right.
Because what happened was I moved to LA in '86 for a little bit, and I had a cassette of Master of Puppets because I had seen the Ozzy tour with Metallica, I think in the beginning of '86.
Right.
And I sort of heard Metallica on I don't know if you get WISP there, but they used to have a show called Metal Shop, and they used to play Metal Militia.
I remember that.
Yeah, cool. They used to play Metal Militia off Kill 'Em All, you know. So I thought they were cool, you know, whatever. It was kind of weird. But then I saw them open for Ozzy, and I was like, oh, what the fuck, man? This is the best shit ever. I was in love with thrash metal right there and then. So then I thought Master of Puppets was like the end-all, be-all, all through the summer because I was in L.A. And then I got back to New Jersey for school in September, and my friend Binky turned me on to Rain and Blood, and it exploded my head all into pieces, man. And, you know, I quit smoking cigarettes there. That was the first time I quit smoking cigarettes when I was 16. And, you know, it took a long time before I really – Dave Lombardo made me quit the first time. I was like, there's no way somebody can smoke cigarettes. And it was so athletic, man. You know, the drumming was so athletic, and I loved it so much, man. It changed my life. And Dave Lombardo was a huge part of my metal influence, man. Just huge. Can't be overstated. Really, he's a hero. He's a fucking hero, that guy. What can I say? And you know, it keeps blowing my mind more and more. These YouTube videos of him playing like the big four shows in these stadiums, and he's totally in shape. You know, like
forget it. What about the stuff he did with Grip Incorporated? I was like, unbelievable.
You know what he is to me, man? You know, like, okay, Tony Williams. I would listen to Tony Williams and study him playing jazz, and he would listen to him doing ride patterns. And you think there's no way, you know, they've got to be the smallest strokes because he's playing so quick, so many quick notes in a row with his right hand. But then you see the video, and he's like beating the shit out of it. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know, same thing with Dave Lombardo, man. That's how I feel.
You know what? That guy's unbelievable. And Charlie Benanti, he's another one of my influences as well.
Yeah.
You know? And you know who's really underrated? Tom Hunting from Exodus.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome. I just toured with him, man, and I watched him every night.
I mean, think about it. From the Studio 54 gig, the Bonded by Blood record comes out. You know, Pleasures of the Flesh. You know, all these records that came out. Awesome.
Dude, the new records are awesome too, man. The new records are amazing. He's an animal. The thing about him is like, you know, he's one of those guys that plays really, really fast thrash, but the pocket is still so deep, man.
Absolutely. You know? But listen, I'm definitely not leaving you out of there, bro. You're in for me, I mean, watching you play, awesome. You're in my top 5, no doubt, after seeing you play, because you're like the Neil Peart of metal. You know what I mean? You're very technical.
Wow, thank you, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody listen out there, you got to check out Matt Thompson. He is awesome, bro. But anyway,
Thanks.
Obviously you're a big Neil Peart fan too, right?
Yeah, I've always been. I mean, that's weird, man. You know, like saying you're obviously a Neil Peart fan. It's like say, you know, you drink water, right? Like, yeah, I gotta drink water.
That's awesome. Well, listen, you know what? Everybody's gonna mention Neil. That guy is unbelievable. Probably the greatest known drummer ever in the history. I mean, next to Buddy Rich for me. I love Buddy Rich as well. But, you know, that's it, man. That's it. This is awesome. I mean, do you also do drum clinics as well?
Well, if someone will hire me, yeah, I'll do it. I can do. Yeah, I can do. I've done. Man, I've gotten really lucky, man. You know, I did. I got asked to do a series of clinics in Croatia in 2010, and it was me and Mike Mangini doing clinics.
Okay.
So
now you're mentioning somebody that's awesome as well, bro.
Yeah, and I got to hang out with Mike for a couple of days and really talk to him, kind of at length over lunch and dinner, and God, it was awesome to watch him do clinics. You know, I was a clinician there, but for Mike's clinics, I was a student, man. You know, he's next level.
I actually seen a clinic with him, I would say 10, 12 years ago with Sam Ash, and I think it's I forgot what part of Jersey. I don't know if it was Edison. And let me tell you, man, that guy is a friggin' animal. Actually, his sound system went out. He was doing this roll, like a single-stroke roll on the snare. The sound system went out, and he's actually grunting as he's playing, and the whole crowd started cracking up because he had headphones on. And he's like, he stopped. He's like, why is everybody laughing? And they're like, you're grunting. He's literally grunting. Ugh. I was like, this guy's a friggin' animal, man. I can't believe it. But that must have been cool hanging out with him, though.
Yeah, it really was, man. Wow. Because you know he has the world record for fastest single stroke roll.
Right, that's correct.
With his hands,
like, what,
you know.
1,200 single strokes in a minute or something?
I don't know. I don't know the exact number, but
you know, it's amazing. I couldn't believe it. Even half of those other guys that play that fast, I can't even fathom playing like. That's got to be a lot of practice, man.
Yeah, and that's just it. You know,
that's crazy, man. Unbelievable.
It's a lot of practice. It's a lot of discipline, and that's, you know, guys like Mike Mangini and the guys who are the top clinicians. They're not only the ones who practice the most, but they're the ones who know how to practice, you know, the most efficiently.
Right.
And that's what it comes down to, you know, discipline, practice.
Well, you know what? He's an incredible player. There's no doubt about it. And, you know, especially now with being in Dream Theater, that's pretty awesome. But
yeah, not a bad gig.
I remember watching all the rehearsals with all the different drummers. You know, and you know, with Dream Theater.
The YouTube
yes,
auditions?
the auditions, yes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And all these guys they had, you're like, oh my God, everyone could make it. But you know what? When Mike Mangini made it, it was great. But anyway, now
well, it made sense to me because they're all Berkeley dudes, you know. But you're right, man. Every drummer there was they were totally worthy of that gig. I mean, definitely.
But you know what? As much as they all play so great, you got to have the feel. I mean, you had Virgil Donati there. That guy, I don't know anybody that plays double bass like him. And you would think a guy like him would get the gig, but you know what? If they don't have the feel with the band, you're not going to get the gig. I mean, that's the way I feel, though. You know?
Yeah.
But what are you going to do? Let me ask you another question.
You still pretty sweet feel. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead, Matt. Go ahead. I didn't mean to stop you.
No. It's cool, man. Uh-huh.
Cool. You're still playing Tama drums, right?
I am. That's correct. I still play Tama drums.
Cool. What kind of sticks do you use? Vic Firth or Pro Marks?
Yeah, I've been with Vic Firth. Since I joined Kingdom, I've been with Vic Firth, Remo, Tama, and Pasty Cymbals.
Yes.
I love
I
them
gotta
all.
say, man, those drums sound incredible. What are they, the Star Classics?
Yeah, Star Classic Maple. They're my favorite.
I gotta say, when I was 15, I got my first set of Tama Imperial Stars.
Right, that's what I got too. That was my first kit.
It was a platinum kit. It was beautiful, and then obviously, you get all the Art Stars, all the different Star drums, and then I guess the last one was the Star Classics, I guess. But
I don't remember there being Star Classic when I first got my Imperial Stars in '86.
No, back then it was like Art Star, Rock Star, Imperial Star,
Swing Star was one.
Right, Swing Star. It was just so many stars out there. Anyway, all right, man. Well, listen, Matt, I really appreciate you having me interview you. It is my first interview. I hope I was okay.
I think you did a fantastic job, man. And you're in Sayreville right now?
Yeah, I'm hanging out over here.
Man,
I'm with my family. They're all upstairs.
Go get Wawa for me, man. I really miss Wawa.
Oh, shit. My son loves the Wawa sandwiches. He eats that more than his mother's cooking. I don't know what that means. God. Listen, I got to ask you one more thing, and Joey likes to do this. He likes to rate the interview from 1 to 10. How would you rate this interview?
I rate it 10, man, because, I don't do many interviews. I don't get a lot of interest, and you gave me some interest, baby. So I give you a 10. Ow!
Cool. I appreciate it, Matt. I really do. And you know what? For the listeners out there again, check out Matt Thompson. This guy, I'm going to say it, is fucking killer. I hope your family's now listening.
Thank you, man.
Really,
Thanks,
you
man.
have to listen to Matt Thompson. All right, Matt, listen. You have a good night, all right?
Thanks, man. Take care, man.
All right.
Hey, Matt,
Thank you very much.
Joe. This is Joe. Matt, thanks for coming on, man. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you, brother.
Hey, all right, guys. Take care.
Thank you,
man.
Matt. Have a good night.
Okay, bye.
Benny kicked